Hey guys, John here. I am here with Tony Javier and going to ask him some questions about third parties and how he goes about finding them. Tony, let's first talk about realtors.
Okay.
When you are looking for a realtor, what do you look for?
Well, when I go into a different market, we've been into a few different markets. One of the cheapest ways to get into a market is find a realtor that's willing to work with you and find properties on the MLS. We find a lot of properties on the MLS. We make a lot of offers. So to find a realtor that you want to work with, you want someone that's hungry, someone that's motivated, someone that buys into what you're doing. The thing with working with realtors and finding properties in the MLS is you have to make a lot of offers on properties. So you really need to find someone that is motivated, that's willing to go out there and make a lot of offers on properties. I mean, I would guess we make 20, 30, sometimes 40 offers on properties to get one deal. And if you don't have someone that's on your side that knows what you're trying to accomplish and that buys into what you're doing, it's not going to work. You find an agent that's too experienced, that has too much business right now, they're not going to be hungry enough and they're probably not going to want to work with you. At the same time, you need to find someone that has some experience, so when you do throw them into the mix, it's not having to train them from scratch. Someone that's maybe done a few deals, someone that has a small team that does just enough to kind of make a living, but then you can take it and you can take their business to the next level by providing them that extra additional business.
Okay. So you said you went through 20 or 40 offers before you get a deal. How many interviews do you conduct before you find the realtor that you want?
That's a good question. We just went into the Tampa, Florida market, and I interviewed 2 realtors. I had one that I kind of hired that started making offers for us, and I found out he wasn't real motivated. And then the realtor that we brought in was someone that was just getting into real estate, but had their license, had been in the business because his mother-in-law had a successful real estate team, so he'd been around it and was working with her and had some knowledge in it, but he was just getting started. So here I had to interview 2 realtors, but if I were anybody else, I'd probably interview 3 to 5 realtors before you make that decision.
Okay. And how do you go about finding leads for realtors?
Well, that's the thing, is the realtors need to find the leads for you. We do have realtors in the different markets that we're in, and what we do is we have a realtor that will do our acquisitions, and at the same time, if they can't do the acquisitions, then they will actually list the property to sell. And that's an extra stream of income for you guys. If you could partner with a realtor, they can list properties that you don't buy. In return, there's some legalities, so you got to check with your local board and how they can compensate you for that. But my sister in my office has a real estate license, so in Wichita, which is our base office. So when you go into a different market, any referral commissions for properties that realtor lists will actually go back to her, and that's a legal way for us to be able to put it back into the business, because my sister's an officer of the business as well.
Okay. When you're shopping for a realtor, how do you find the different realtors that you want to interview?
Well, there's a couple different ways to do it. One is to Google and just check around and see if I think in Kansas City, the way we found our realtor up there is we Googled Kansas City real estate agent for investors or something of that nature, and he happened to have a page up that says he works with investors. So that's how we found him. Calling local offices. The other way that I found another realtor was calling a Keller Williams office and just saying, who is your local investor-friendly realtor that's worked with investors, that knows the business, that's willing to make the offers, and usually that person already knows what they're getting into. Mm-hmm. A lot of realtors could jump on board and say, well, this is not for me. That it's just a different business dealing with investors compared to homeowners and home buyers. So someone that is in a different office, so call a Keller Williams, call a Prudential, call different places. Keller Williams is the most versed I found in real estate investors, because they actually have programs that teach them about real estate investing. So I would call local Keller Williams offices to see who the best agent is to start interviewing, or agents.
Okay. Once you have your realtor hired, how often do you have contact with them? How often do you meet with them? How often do you chat with them on the phone?
Well, we do a team meeting once a week. So I'm using Tampa as specifics because that's the market that we're in right now, just jumped into. We meet once a week. We have goals. We have an overview of, what deals we have in the works, what's closing, what's coming up, how many offers have you made, things like that. So there's a once a week meeting, and then throughout the week he's sending me properties. This deal came on today. We need to make an offer on it. We need to get on it now. So we communicate pretty much on a daily basis. There may be a day or two in between that we're not communicating, but for the most part, if they're not sending you leads, at least a few times a week to be able to analyze and go through and start making offers on, then they're not doing their job.
Okay. How much time do you spend training your realtor?
As much as it takes. You want to find someone that can figure it out. Anybody that I hire on my team, I want them to be able to figure it out. I give them the basics, I give them the knowledge, I give them the tools that they need, and then they're able to, take it and run with it. So it's going to be a case by case. If they already know the business, you don't need to train them much. You just say, here's what I'm looking for, here's the specifics of what I'm looking for, here's the spreadsheet that I use. The way that I work with my realtor right now is he's turnkey. He's got the spreadsheet that I've given him, the deal analyzer that we have. He punches in his numbers. He punches in the sale price on the after repair value. He punches in the repairs that need to be done to the property. And I train him on that. By looking at the pictures, he can kind of tell what needs to be done. By looking at the property, he can verify those numbers. But he punches those numbers in, and then it kind of calculates where we need to be at as far as purchase price. So I think the biggest training part of it is showing him what you're looking for, what the numbers are, so that they can accurately make the offer. So now he makes anywhere from 5 to 20 offers a week without me even looking at a property. Once we get a counter offer on the property, then he says, hey, Tony, we're pretty close to getting a deal on this one. Can you go and verify the numbers?
Okay. How often would you say that you turn over realtors?
Well, specifically here, we just had to turn over the one realtor. He was only a month, probably less than a month before I realized he wasn't the right person. Mm-hmm. He wasn't sending offers. He wasn't looking, as deeply. When he found a deal, he wasn't motivated to make an offer. He'd wait 2 to 3 days to make an offer. So in that specific case, we had to turn him over in a month. The new realtor we have is really good. He's been with us for at least 6 months now, and I see him continuing with us. My realtor in Wichita is my sister. So hopefully we don't have to ever turn her over. She's been with me for going on almost 5 years now, and she's a rock star. She just goes in there, she makes offers, she goes in there, and she just makes tons of offers. We found 20 some odd deals, almost 30 deals in the MLS last year through her. So she brought us a couple deals a month through the MLS. So hopefully you don't have much turnover in realtors, but when you find out that they're not doing work and they're not getting any deals, you got to get them out of there right away.
Okay. Do you recommend that a new investor get their real estate license?
That's something that is really is up to them. The advantages of it are you are your own realtor. You have access to the MLS. You can buy your own deals. You can list your own deals through the MLS, and you can pull your own comps and have access to it. If you have your own realtor, you can still get admin access because you're kind of an assistant to that realtor. You can make commissions on the property. There's many different advantages to having your realtor license. I ended up giving my real estate license because there was too much liability. People were, turning me in for things like not disclosing I'm a realtor on accident. When you do, a lot of deals, some of those things fall through the cracks. We were getting fines and all kinds of crazy things. So I got unlicensed, got my sister licensed, and so really it's a case-by-case basis if that's what you want to do.
Okay. Those are all the questions that I had. Are there any other points worth making?
I don't think so. Just do your due diligence with the realtor that you have. Make sure they're motivated. Make sure they know your business. Make sure they buy into what you're doing. If you have the right realtor, they can find you 10, 20, 30 deals a year if that's what you're wanting. If you're just getting into the business, it doesn't take that much for them to go in there and make you a lot of money. They could find you a deal in the MLS tomorrow that makes you 20, 30, 40 grand, pretty quickly. So just pick your right realtor, make sure it's the right person, train them as much as you think you need to, and just hit it hard.
All right, great. Some valuable information. Please check out the rest of the videos in this series.
Thank you guys so much for joining us on this free training. If you liked it, which I hope you did,
please share the link to this video on your Facebook page. And also you can go to this website right here and find out how we've built a 7-figure automated real estate investing business and how you can start or automate your own investing business with the tools and systems that we have available. So like I always say, take what you learn here and go out there and make it happen. So we'll see you guys on some future trainings.